Just 2 weeks ago, the Formula One world watched in disbelief as Max Verstappen and George Russell collided in Spain, igniting a fierce rivalry that has dominated every headline since. That clash didn't just cost Verstappen time, it cost him a critical 3 penalty points. Now, standing on 11 out of 12 allowed points, Verstappen is 1 minor infraction away from a mandatory race ban. And the next race? Red Bull's home Grand Prix in Austria. The pressure has never been more intense. Fast forward to qualifying day in Montreal, and the tension is practically combustible. With both drivers sharing the front row, just like last year, it's George Russell who shocked everyone by snatching pole position with a breathtaking lap on the mediums. Verstappen, who had briefly gone fastest, now finds himself starting right next to the very man he collided with in Barcelona. And this time, he can't afford a single mistake. If you're an F1 fan who lives for rivalry, drama, and razor-thin margins, subscribe now. This is not just another race. This is a pressure cooker about to explode, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. George Russell knew exactly what he was doing. In a qualifying session where strategy, precision, and nerve collided, he delivered a lap that wasn't just quick, it was a statement. On medium tyres no less, Russell clocked in a stunning 1 minute 10.899 seconds, denying Max Verstappen provisional pole and securing back-to-back poles in Montreal. But this wasn't just a case of Mercedes outpacing Red Bull. No, this was the perfect storm, brewing once again between 2 drivers who, just weeks ago, lit up Barcelona in controversy. Let's rewind the tape. At the Spanish Grand Prix, the closing stages erupted when Verstappen and Russell collided in a battle that was fiery even by their own standards. Verstappen was handed a 10-second penalty and a crushing 3 penalty points, pushing his total to 11. That's just 1 point shy of a mandatory 1 race ban under FIA rules, a line no Formula One driver wants to toe. And here's the kicker. If Verstappen collects that single point either in Canada or Austria, he'll miss the Austrian Grand Prix, Red Bull's home race, the symbolic battlefield of their entire operation. Now place that driver, Max Verstappen, on the front row in Canada, right next to George Russell. The same Russell who accused Verstappen of deliberate contact in Barcelona. The same Russell who now has the strategic upper hand into turn 1. The same Russell who, with 1 well-timed defensive move, could push Max into a make-or-break decision, back off or risk it all. In the post-qualifying interview, Russell let a little grin slip through when talking to Jacques Villeneuve. "I've got a few more points on my licence to play with," he said. A playful jab, but one loaded with deeper meaning. Russell has nothing to lose. He's not in the title hunt. He doesn't carry the same penalty baggage. And psychologically, he's operating from a place of strength. Max Verstappen, by contrast, is visibly shaken by the scrutiny. His frustration boiled over during the FIA press conference, where he shut down Tom Clarkson mid-question. "It's really pissing me off," Max snapped. "It's very childish. This world we live in. It's annoying." These aren't the words of a man who's in control. They're the words of a champion who feels cornered. And in F1, a driver feeling cornered is often the most dangerous kind of driver. But make no mistake, the danger goes both ways. Verstappen can't afford another incident. If there's even a whiff of contact that earns him a penalty point, he'll be forced to sit out a Grand Prix, and not just any race, Austria. A race where Red Bull historically dominates. A race where Verstappen's absence would shift the championship dynamics overnight. So while Max may want to come out swinging against Russell, every wheel-to-wheel moment will be shadowed by the spectre of that 12th penalty point. There's also the broader narrative to consider. Verstappen's penalty total has sparked a renewed debate over consistency in stewarding. Some pundits argue that he's being unfairly targeted due to his aggressive reputation. Others say the opposite, that his prior actions have caught up with him, and the FIA is finally enforcing consequences. The fact that opinions are so divided only adds fuel to the fire. For Mercedes, Russell's pole is a beacon of hope in a season filled with inconsistency. This pole is more than just track position, it's leverage. It reinforces his status within the team and could factor into contract negotiations heading into 2026. And let's not forget how Russell took that pole, not on soft tyres, but on mediums. That's a strategic flex. It means Mercedes may have flexibility at the race start, could control the opening stint with better tyre degradation, and, crucially, it suggests that Russell may have raw pace and endurance to keep Verstappen at bay. But there's also a more chaotic possibility. What if Verstappen and Russell go wheel to wheel into turn 1 and we see a repeat of Spain? Would Max yield, knowing the stakes? Or would instinct kick in? Could Russell be tempted to brake late, squeeze Max and dare him to blink? These are the games drivers play at this level. High-stakes mind games disguised as racecraft. Even if there's no contact, expect every move between them to be dissected. Every inch, every corner, every brake tap. The stewards will be watching, the teams will be tense, and the fans? They'll be glued to the first 5 seconds of that race like it's the season finale. Red Bull, for their part, have remained tight-lipped. But you can bet Helmut Marko and Christian Horner are already exploring worst-case scenarios. If Verstappen is banned for Austria, who steps in? Could we see Isaac Hadjar make a shock to the RB cockpit? Would Liam Lawson be called up? The implications for Red Bull are enormous, not just on track, but commercially, politically, and within the team dynamic itself. And then there's the bigger question. Is Max Verstappen cracking? We've seen dominant champions before, Schumacher, Vettel, Hamilton, all experience moments when pressure gets to them. But Verstappen has always appeared impervious, until now. The penalty points, the media backlash, the rising threat from McLaren, Mercedes and Ferrari, it's all converging. And the image of Verstappen storming through the paddock after qualifying, refusing to answer questions, shutting down journalists, that's not the Max of old. It's the Max who knows the empire is wobbling. And on the other side, George Russell smells blood. A victory here would not just be redemption after Barcelona. It would be a psychological blow to Verstappen. A reminder that Max isn't untouchable. That the 2025 title fight, even if not directly between them, is still wide open. So as we gear up for the Canadian Grand Prix, remember this. It's not just about the lights going out. It's about what happens when two bitter rivals carrying baggage and pride blast down into turn 1, knowing full well the price of contact is higher than ever. So here's the question. Will Verstappen play it safe, or will his instinct to dominate override the threat of a ban? Let me know your prediction in the comments.